Hi, welcome to Gladys Creations Part 2. Let's party because today is Just Our Imagination Challenge with our host, Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY, Kathy Joe from Kathy Joe's DIYs, and our co host from OK at Home DIYs. Today is the Just Our Imagination Challenge, and I'm going to be part of the playlist. Now, there is just items that I'll be using, and we're going to go on to DIY number one. Here, we're going to be using this egg, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it all up, take everything off, put some spackle on, sand it down, okay? Paint it with white chalk paint to prepare it for our design. We're going to do that first one there. Oh, and I wanted to show you that is what I created. If there, by any chance you want to know anything about that, it helps me with doing prep work. It spins around and stuff. Now here we have that we're going to be painting that in Java, as you see. Then I'm going to put some white glue over it, okay? Because we're going to crackle paint right now. And you don't want to put really thick coats, okay? I'm showing you this more. I usually don't show this part, but I'm going to show you more because I get a lot of questions about it. Now, while it's still wet, I'm going to do it with that buttermilk paint that I just showed you. And I'm going to be painting with that, doing just one stroke. You do not want to go over it several times because if not, you're going to get overlay, too much paint, and it's not going to crackle right for you. So there you go. I showed you how I painted it on. Never use a heat gun because a heat gun will cause it to bubble. Use a blow dryer on cool setting on low and watch it. Look at how nice it crackles. You see? It crackles really nice when you use a blow dryer and it dries faster and smoother. You don't get no bumps, no gooks and glumps. You see how I got some right there because I had to blow dryer a little bit close. But heat causes that to happen to paint, okay? Now that that's all dry, we're going to take our aluminum cookie sheet and I'm going to cut it. And there I mark it the size that I'm going to cut it. And then after I mark it, then I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it out. And then I'm going to glue it on with wood glue. And then we're going to our next step. The leftover paint that I had, I'm going to mix a tablespoon of spackle to it. And then I'm not going to paint it on. I usually do, but this time I'm going to do it with a spatula and to give it like the look of cement because we want to make this look like it's an old egg on an old wall that is in the shape of an egg, okay? And it shows the different layers. It used to be aluminum. Underneath the aluminum was old wood. Then it was, cement. Okay, now the other egg, we're going to take it and we're going to Mod Podge on and iron it on. Okay, a piece of cloth that I had. Okay, it was a little sample pieces that I got from Timu, and then it wasn't long enough. All right, so I'm going to be painting it around the sides. Okay, you won't really see that, but I just want to do that because so it doesn't show. Okay, so there you see that I had Mod Podged it all around, and I'm going to iron it up. There you go, see? And seal it up. And once I seal it up, I'm going to cut it out. And once I cut it out, I'm going to sand it. And then after I sand the edges is when I'm going to do the little bit of painting with the pink. Okay, and there you go, see? And I do all the edges so to clean it up because I like my edges to be nice and finished. Okay, and then we're going to get that there. That's like a mesh, okay, with a little bit of lace. I'm going to take it and I'm going to glue it all around the edges because we're going to make it like a little basket. So I'm going to hot glue gun it through all the edges, Okay, just like that. And be careful you don't burn yourself because it goes right through the mesh, okay? And it'll burn you, okay? So just be very careful when you're doing that part. Then after I do that, I'm going to cut that out and then I'm going to sand it up after I cut it out. And then I'm going to, you see, I sand it. And then I'm going to get antique wax and I'm going to do my edges down there on the bottom like that, just to antique it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do it on the mesh a little bit, a couple streaks, just to give it, a little bit of an antique look. I also wrapped around twine. I lost the video of when I did that. All I did was just wrap it around twice and then I pinched it in the middle and glued it there in the center. Now I put glue on it and then I put a pretty little bow that I made. If you would like to see a tutorial of how I made that bow, or how I make my bows, let put a comment down below, and I will um, see about doing some bow videos. Okay, if you would like that. Okay, there I have some Dollar Tree greenery and some Spanish moss that I added to it. And that's all I'm going to add is just a couple greeneries, and then I'm going to glue it down a little bit so it doesn't show so much, because we're going to add this together with the other egg back to back, because we have to use a towel holder. Okay, so that's what's going to be holding it together. But here I wanted to rustic it up, so I took orange and brown, mixed it together, and some green moss paint, chalk paint, and I go around the wood. Remember, I want to antique it up a little bit to make it look old. Okay, and I do it all around the edges, you see, to bring out like the wood part. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of moss, because it's old and grungy, right? So we're going to give it a little bit of a grungy look on this side of the egg. Okay, I'm going to put some of that moss there in the wood, and some on the stone to make it look old and weathered and tethered. It's just looking like something that um the girl from Junk Studio would do, something like that. I love her. She does great decorations and she's good. And I love that. So when I was doing this, I was thinking of her. All right, there goes the towel holder, you see? So I did use my towel holder, and that's what's going to hold this together as a stand. So I'm going to put the both pieces together. The pink one is with the bow is on the one side, and then I'm going to take this side and glue it on top of that one. Okay, and then I'm going to clamp it together, and then I'm going to leave it clamped together while I proceed um, to the next part. Okay, which is I'm going to glue it onto a glass plate, and once I glue it onto the glass plate, I'm going to glue it on with Gorilla Glue and from some hot glue. Okay, and there I'm taking off the tag. I forgot to take the tag off of it. And once I glue that on, okay, I'm going to glue it first with the hot glue gun so I could get that instant hold. Then I'm going to go with the Gorilla Glue to have permanent hold, okay? Because I don't want this coming apart, tomorrow on me. All right, so then I'm going to get some white foam. Okay, it's a round one from Dollar Tree. And I cut it in half, and I'm going to glue it onto the egg and onto the plate. Okay, and then I glue it on both sides like that the front and the back. And then I'm going to take moss and I'm going to cover it all completely with moss. And I got that big bag of moss from Hobby Lobby. Good deal. It was like $9, and it's so much moss. And I like it because it's a different texture than the reindeer moss that you get from Dollar Tree. And it's more colorful. Like it's green, it's red, it's light green, dark green, and brown. I mean, it looks like real moss that you would see out in the forest when you're walking in the forest or something. I really like it. I really I advise that if you're gonna buy moss, buy it at Hobby Lobby. It's nice, and it's good price for that big bag. So there you go. I covered the whole thing, and that's that. And we're gonna go on to our next video. Okay, our next DUI, number two. Okay, and everything you'll see it in the final reveal. Here, I take a octagon shaped mirror. Okay, and I had two of them. That white one, I glued it to some styrofoam, and here I'm gonna take some Dollar Tree shish kebab sticks, the bamboo sticks, and I cut them to 10 inches. Okay, and then I add in about a quarter inch more, or eighth an inch more, I think it was, and no, it was a quarter inch. Okay, and I'm gonna drill holes there. I'm gonna burn holes. Now be careful with that hot knife. I put in the poker one and made holes, okay? And make sure that you're in a ventilated space. You see that smoke that comes out of there? Yeah, that is really strong. Make sure that you have a fan on and your windows open and get good circulation when you do that, because it's really strong, okay? And there I got it to fit, and you see how I stop it right there with the quarter, because I want that little nub to stay there. So when I put it in, see, when I put it in, it'll snap right in to the other picture frame. Okay, when it's upside down, because I have it upside down, so the back parts are facing each other. Okay, there I have some glue from when I pushed the sticks through. I stopped them with some hot glue so they would stay there and not move. Okay, and there you go. I clip it all together. Then I had a chalkboard one, and I put two holes there in the middle because I'm going to put a swing. Okay, so now I want to connect it to every corner of the octagon with the wood sticks. Now I had problems doing this. It would not glue with the Gorilla Glue. It wouldn't glue with the hot glue gun or nothing. So I had to add beads to the top there so they would connect. And I was able to get it to connect there. Now, my lighting is really bad because it got tall, okay? And I couldn't do the whole video. My camera wouldn't pick up the whole thing. So I had to switch the position of how I had my video. So I'm sorry that if it's a little bit dark, I'm sorry that you see the lamp there. I had actually there like 5 different lights, okay? Now, that thing that I'm gluing right there is the inside of an old lampshade. I took the lampshade off, and I'm gluing it to the top portion where the chalkboard was at. Okay, and I'm gluing it on. I first glued it on with some wood glue, and then now I'm clamping it after I glued it with some hot glue. And then I'm gonna let it clamp there for a little bit so it could get, hard and solid. Then I take those little wood rings that you get from Dollar Tree, okay, and I take the 3 different sizes, glue them together, and I'm not worried about all that glue that's seeping out through the sides, because that's going to get all covered with paint and moss and all that. Because this is, if you haven't figured it out yet, it is going to be a birdhouse slash bird nest, like a bird hotel, let's say. And it's gonna be like foresty, okay? So here outside, I'm in my backyard. It was pouring rain, like pouring rain for days, and I had no choice but to go under my canopy, spray paint that, and cut that down. So I got the chicken wire cut down, and now I'm getting ready to attach it here, and it's all, you see it, it's all spray painted white. So I'm going to attach it here by clipping the edges to the one stick there, the first stick. And then once I attach it to the first stick there, it's going to be like bent. You see how I get my needle nose pliers, and then I just twist it around that one stick there all the way to the top. Now, because it goes from wide to and getting skinnier as it goes up, the top changes, okay? It's I have excess chicken wire left. So I had to stop the video and cut that and then staple them all on. Now, I have that all done. Now I'm going to make the swing. Okay, so I take those popsicle sticks, the jumbo ones, and I get wood glue. And after I cut it, it's about approximately about 3.5 to 4 inches long, big enough for my bird to be able to sit on there. Then I'm going to wrap it with some twine. Okay, and I take the twine and I put it through the hole, and there I burn my finger. Put it through the hole, then put it through the other hole and bring it back down. Then I bring it all the way down to the bottom and I see if that's going to be enough. And then I cut it, and then I'm going to wrap it twice around the one side and then tie it in a knot on the top. And it leaves like a little triangle there. That's to give it balance so the bird doesn't fall off. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And I'm going to take it and wrap it around the other edge of it right there. See how I pointed at it? And then I put the glue right there and I wrap it around that twice and then come up and tie it to the string. Okay, and I'll leave like a little triangle. So when I put my bird on there, I'll glue the bird to the piece of wood and I'll glue it also to the rope. Okay, now it looks kind of wonky there. You see how it's gonna be? All right, so I'm gonna play with it for a little bit and I'll be right back. Oh no, there I glued the top and I put the styrofoam in. And then I check to see how it looks, if it fits okay. Yep, and it's all looking good. And then here's where I'm gonna start painting. I'm gonna use moss, caramel brown, and brown oxide. And I dab them as I go. I'm using one of those stencil brushes from Dollar Tree, and I just touch a little bit of brown, a little bit of green, a little bit of the hazelnut. That's the color I use, hazelnut. And I put that in there and I paint it all the way around like that to give it that wood look. You see how it changes to a little bit woody? And then there's some vines that I had. I'm going to wrap them around. You see how I'm twisting them and going in the chicken wire and out the chicken wire? I'm threading it through this the string, I mean the piece of wood, and I'm taking it all the way to the top. And once I get it to the top, I'm going to wrap it up above where the little wood bead is and take it over to the next stick. Okay, and then I'm going to do that all the way around. You see my bird swinging there? He's having a whole ball. I forgot that. I didn't even videotape that. I thought I videotaped it when I was fighting with that bird, trying to put that bird on there on the swing. That was hard to do because he's heavy. But he swings the whole time. He's having fun while we're sitting here crafting. All right, now you see how I wrapped the vine around the bead, and then it came to the next bead, and then I'm going to wrap it around that one all the way down, and then I'm going to do that all the way around. And there you go. I had that done. And I thought I videotaped this too. I don't know. I lost it or I didn't record when I was doing this. But I put moss on the bottom and now I'm going to put moss on the top. Okay. And the same way like I did on the bottom. Okay, and I'm using that good moss that I got at Hobby Lobby. Oh my God, look at you see that? Oh my God, that moss is I've never been so excited about moss. And I'm like so excited. I think I'm gonna moss everything now because that moss is so nice and it feels so good. All right, now I'm gonna get some raffia and I twirl it together and make like a little circle. And then I take some brown raffia that I had from not brown raffia, brown Spanish moss, okay, that I got at Christmas time. And I'm making like a bird nest up there. Okay. And I'm gonna put it all the way around. And then I'm going to put a little bit of the reindeer moss that I had left from Dollar Tree that's a little bit more spongy. And I'm going to put that all over the place, up on the rings on the top and all around the bird's nest and everything. Now, I did miss one part, and you'll see it in the final reveal. Now, on the top there, I put a little glass gem. So you'll see it on the final reveal, the little glass gem. But now we're going to... Mm, uh, uh, see, now that one out of order. You see how I did the raffia and took the Spanish moss? We went backwards. See, that's what happened. That's where that video went to. Oh, I told you, editing is no joke. I really messed up there, and I'm sorry about that. But look at my birdie having fun swinging, and the other birdie there. All right, there we're going to put some little um like brown, they look like little mini roses, but I wanted to keep this like really neutral, so I could keep it throughout the whole springtime and not have to change it out, and maybe I'll add some mushrooms to it later or something like that. But everything in my living room is neutral, so I've been wanting to do this bird cage for the longest time, and this was my opportunity. So there it is. And that's how I'm gonna have it. And you'll see a better view of it in the final reveal. Okay. And we're coming up on our last DIY. I'm sorry about that. And here we're gonna be using our cans. All right. And I already cut the top and the bottoms out. I take my rubber mallet and I hammer them, use my vice grips to squeeze it tight, but I want to leave it open because for now, today, I'm just going to show you only one completed done, because I want to take these and put little herbs and little flowers in my backyard. So there I showed you how I drilled a little hole in it. Okay. And then I'm going to take the white chalk paint. I always use white chalk paint to prime all my work when I'm painting. No matter what I'm painting, I'm always going to prime it first with white paint, just like you would with gesso. I just use chalk paint. It's cheaper for me. So, and I'm dabbing it on with a sponge brush, and I do that to all 5 cans. Okay. And the holes are in already, yep. And then we put in, now we're going to be painting it with the buttermilk paint. And I'm doing this video fast because this video was an hour and 45 minutes long, and I had to cut it down all the way to 30 minutes to be fair for the other people on the playlist. So I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. If you have any questions about anything that I've done, just leave me a comment down below or go into the descriptions. My email's there, my Facebook is there. Any way that you want to contact me. If you don't want to leave a comment, you could always contact me through there. Now there, I'm getting ready to decoupage. And whenever I decoupage anything, I always rip it because I like that unfinished look. I do not like it when it's cut in a straight, blunt line. I like it to be cut like that, ripped, because then I blend it in. And you'll see that in a few minutes. You're going to see me blend it in. Okay, and there you see I take the Mod Podge, put it all around, and I always Mod Podge with a fan brush because it helps with getting your edges smooth and getting that Mod Podge in there. Now there I got plastic and I rub it with some Reynolds wrap, the plastic wrap. Okay, and I do that with all of them, and there you go. You see, I have them all Mod Podge. Now, I'm only going to do one of them with the hanger and show you only one of them done, okay, today. Because, like I said, I'm going to change this for myself for the yard. But for the Just Our Imagination challenge, we had to use a hanger. So, I just wanted to show you that you can use anything. For a tie there. So I used the hanger For this one, I did this one with the hanger, and I put it in through the hole, and I used my needle nose and my bull nose clippers, okay, to cut the hanger. And then I bend it with my needle nose and I put it in through the hole right there. And then I wrap it with the needle nose, and it was, now that may look easy to you. I struggled. That video right here, this one, was about 20 minutes long. Yeah, me fighting with that needle nose, squeezing that and trying to get that in there. Oh my goodness, was that horrible. But I got it done, got it made, and then I'm gonna paint it the same color that I painted. Oh, I made a bow there. I'm showing you that I just made one of those awareness bows with the twine, and just put a little bow on the top because I wanted to keep it really simple because it's for the outside for the yard. And then I'm just gonna paint it like that, the cream color. And then I'm gonna put for the video purpose, I'm just gonna put in some greenery that I had made, I had bought from Dollar Tree. And then I'm gonna show you that all, and I'll have a better view of it in the final reveal. I show a little bit of it here, but you'll see it better on the final reveal. Okay, so here we are at the final reveal. And let me know in the comments, what did you like most? Okay. And here, like I'm showing you, the little that was the little basket. This is the video showing everything steady, up close, and from top to bottom of the bird cage. I love that bird cage. It came out so cute. And then the egg here. And I think I didn't get a video of it. Or yes, I did. I did get a video of it in the next reel, I think, of the pink side. Yeah, I did do that. And I mean, everything is so cute. Oh my God, look at the birds. Aren't they adorable? So just let me know what and what you would like to see in the future. Um what you know, what kind of crafts. I also crochet. If you would like to see some more crocheted videos and stuff like that, I can do that. There you go. There goes the pink side. Oh, isn't that so beautiful? I love it. I mean, I'm more of a neutral kind of person, but I can deal with the pastel colors and stuff like that for this time, with summer and spring coming. I can deal with that. But yeah, just let me know. And there you go, the side by side picture of both eggs, the front and the back, and the bird cage, all the different pictures of the bird cage. Oh my goodness, that bird cage is amazing. I thought it was not gonna come out right when because I tried to do it with the hangers and it didn't want to cooperate at first with the hangers. And I'm glad it came all together. But you just let me know what what kind of crafts you would like to see, and we can always see what I can do if you want to learn how to do bows. I mean, I do all kinds of craft. I'm a versatile crafter, okay? So I can do basically all kinds of crafts, all right? So I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time around. Thank you for watching. Be blessed.